follow-ups to the greatest hits. This is Trash Can Tidbits.
Hi all, this is Beaton, back at you with some more Trash Can Tidbits. I hope everyone out there enjoyed my interview with Status the Ferret back at Papua a while back. He is a real sweetheart, and I hope you all go check out his music. I understandably skipped out on all the trivia for the interview, but now that we're back to business, last time I asked the question, what are all of the words Charlotte spins into her web? The answer, or answers, are some pig, terrific, radiant, and humble. Now, to keep track of them, take a listen to the song Zuckerman's Famous Pig from the Charlotte's Web animated movie. The lyrics to the chorus go, he's some terrific, radiant, humble thingamajig of a pig. Leave it to the Sherman Brothers to rhyme the word thingamajig. Now with that settled, let's get started with fact number 1. Did you know that a sly reference to another Jennifer Connelly movie is present in Top Gun Maverick if you listen closely? In the film, Connelly plays Penny Benjamin, Maverick's love interest, and in her first scene, the song Let's Dance by David Bowie is playing in the background. One of Connelly's earliest films was at the age of 14 in Jim Henson's Labyrinth, in which she starred alongside none other than David Bowie. Fact 2. Did you know that 2 legendary actors known for Hammer horror films were seen in Star Wars, but unfortunately not at the same time? Peter Cushing played Grand Moff Tarkin in the original film, and Christopher Lee played Count Dooku in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. Both actors starred alongside each other in many films for the British film company Hammer, best known for their horror films including Horror of Dracula, Curse of Frankenstein, and many more. Cushing sadly passed away in 1994, so both actors unfortunately weren't able to work together in the same film franchise one more time. Cushing would later make a posthumous appearance as Tarkin through CGI recreation and a voice double in Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. Fact 3. Did you know that the kid who played Mowgli in Disney's Jungle Book is the son of the film's director? Bruce Reitherman, son of animator-turned-director Wolfgang Reitherman, originally played the voice of Christopher Robin in Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree, the first of the Winnie the Pooh short films for Disney. According to Bruce, another child actor, 11-year-old David Bradley, was cast as the voice of Mowgli. But as production went on, Bradley's voice eventually broke and he had to be replaced. Bruce, who was 10 at the time, was chosen to replace him, most likely because his father was the director and he had a say in it. Today, most likely because of his association with the Jungle Book, Bruce is now a wildlife documentary filmmaker. Fact 4. Did you know that Matt Damon has not one but 2 connections to Norse mythology in the world of movies? Recently, Damon made a cameo appearance in both Thor Ragnarok and Thor Love and Thunder, playing an actor in a tongue-in-cheek stage production as Loki, the Norse god of mischief, in an over-the-top performance. But before all that, Damon got to play his own version of Loki in Kevin Smith's film Dogma, and years later in Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. So in a way, we have Kevin Smith to thank for Damon's hilarious cameos in the MCU, as he's played Loki in 2 different movie universes. Fact 5. Did you know that actor James Caan missed out on a part in a movie where he plays the captive of an evil nurse, only to go on to be in another movie where he gets harassed by an evil nurse? Caan was the first choice to play Randall P. McMurphy in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, but turned the part down and the role went to Jack Nicholson instead. Years later, Caan got the part of Paul Sheldon, a writer who gets taken care of and later tortured by a deranged nurse named Annie Wilkes in Stephen King's Misery. Interestingly enough, Kathy Bates, who played Annie in that movie, looked for inspiration for her character from Louise Fletcher, who played Nurse Ratched in Cuckoo's Nest, and both actresses won Oscars for their performances. Fact 6. Did you know that the James Bond film Quantum of Solace has the only title sequence that was not made by a member of the production crew that makes the Bond movies? The filmmaking team at the British-based Eon Productions employed a graphic designer named Maurice Binder, who, in addition to creating all the title sequences for the James Bond films up to 1989, also created the gun barrel sequences that you see at the beginning of each film. Binder died in 1991, and his protege, Daniel Kleinman, has since taken over the design of each Bond title sequence beginning with GoldenEye. The only movie Kleinman did not work on was Quantum of Solace, which had a title sequence designed by the film's director, Mark Forster, at his own design company, MK12. Fact 7. Did you know that Anne Hathaway literally starved herself for her role as Fantine in Les Miserables? She hasn't disclosed exactly what her method for getting that thin was, reportedly because she didn't want to give anybody ideas. In addition to this, the scene where she's getting her hair shaved was done for real on camera. Her own hairdresser was dressed in women's clothing and actually cut her hair for real. Similarly, Hugh Jackman lost a lot of weight and grew out a long beard for his first scenes in the film, but still had to have a lean enough physique as Jean Valjean is a strong character. Both actors literally pushed themselves to the brink of their mental and physical abilities for Les Mis, something not quite seen in movie musicals of this epic scale ever since. Fact 8. Did you know that the first Tomb Raider game was the only game in the series to not have Lara Croft sporting her famous ponytail? Toby Gard, the designer who came up with Lara's look, intended for her to have a ponytail from the outset, and in fact she does have it in the game's FMV cutscenes. The team at Core Design, though, could only animate her polygonal model with fewer bodily movements that allowed for running, jumping, and shooting, and the engine just simply wasn't perfected enough to animate hair, so Lara's in-game form doesn't have her ponytail. It was added, however, in the sequels and every game ever since. Fact 9. Sticking with Tomb Raider for this next fact, did you know that Lara Croft has been featured on the most magazine covers than any personality in history, real or fictional? Shortly after the release of the first game, Lara's image was featured on the cover of the UK publication The Face, which was devoted to music, fashion, and pop culture, among other topics. She was the first video game character to be featured for that particular magazine. She has since been featured on over 200 plus publications and photo spreads for fashion icons such as Gucci and Versace. Most of these magazines had little or nothing to do with video games. If any company in the world wanted a piece of Lara for their advertising, they were willing to pay Eidos Interactive anything to get her. Fact 10. Did you know that 2 singers of James Bond theme songs allegedly passed out while hitting their final high notes? Dame Shirley Bassey notably sang 3 songs in the franchise, the most of any singer: Goldfinger, Diamonds Are Forever, and Moonraker. It was for Goldfinger that she had the most difficulty hitting the final note as she was singing to match the opening credits, which was playing in a screen in front of her. According to Bassey, the credits kept playing as she was holding the high note and apparently had to remove her bra just to get the lung power to sing, nearly passing out. For the next Bond film, Thunderball, Sir Tom Jones sang the theme song. He apparently did pass out, however, as can be heard in the song. You can clearly hear his voice trailing off while hitting the final high note. Just goes to show that even if you have a powerful voice, a lot of lung power is needed, especially for an elaborate setup like a James Bond theme song. And here's this week's trivia question. You may be surprised that the TV show NCIS is spun off from another show. NCIS has officially run longer than the original show, which ran for 10 years from 1995 to 2005. My question to you is, which TV show did NCIS spin off from? And there we go for this episode. I hope you liked what I brought this week. Stay tuned for more fun stuff, and please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and ring the bell to be notified for future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.